and I wanted to share with you for my live stream show today, which is the Fame and Fortune Impact Leader Daily Live Stream Show. And I'm basically sharing with you kind of tips and ways that you can get into soul alignment and business alignment, and basically the basic knowledge that you need to know in order to really live your life in alignment with everything you desire, everything you want to create. So for today's show, just actually first let me introduce myself. I am an intuitive soul alignment coach. So I basically help multi 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs and celebrities to up-level their business and life by actually aligning them to their unique divine soul blueprints. I just want to get out of the sun. And clearing any of the invisible soul level blocks that may be restricting them from creating the success and having it all in their business. So I wanted to share about this topic, about what is manifesting blueprint archetypes. It's something that I've just created in response to what people have been sharing with me. So I wanted to introduce to you this kind of unique way of utilizing this kind of tool for you. So if you're just jumping on in, just say hello and let me know that you are here. Because I don't always see whoever's on the live stream until like way later, or your comments won't be seen until after. So let's see who's there. Hi Carolyn and hi Jessica. So this is like I'm going to tell you right now, is something that I just created. So it's not something that you're going to see out there. And it's, again, in response to what people have been sharing with me, what I've experimented on myself, and the unique ways of how to really manifest what you desire. And I call that, for my branding, I call that soul-aligned manifestation. So I basically am starting to educate my new audience about what that is, and about soul rebranding, and how to really utilize all of these pieces of your blueprints in order to make your life become more at ease and in flow and in alignment. So basically, I'm going to just share first what are your manifesting blueprint archetypes, why you actually need it to help you in your life and business, and the 3 benefits of knowing it, right? And how well these archetypes help you with aligning to and developing your own unique psychic gifts. So let me first tell you the backstory of why I kind of decided to talk about this topic. And it actually started with a conversation with my biz bestie, Tepsi. And, one of the things that I think that is very hard when you're first developing your intuitive gifts is we go out there thinking that there are all of this like amazing spiritual knowledge or this information, because obviously we're in the information world, and since we are becoming more fifth dimensional beings, which is we are more of the creator of our own experiences, we have more access to information. And so what's happening is everybody's getting information overload. And so instead of actually really going deeper within ourselves about what our gifts are, how can we get more in tune with ourselves, we end up going outside of ourselves for some other authority. It doesn't matter who it is. It can be like even your mother or sister or brother, or the way that people have been taught of exactly like what you're supposed to be doing in your life, right? Especially if right now you feel like you're not in alignment. We tend to go outside of ourselves to find those answers. And the first thing I have to let you know is that the answer is always going to be within you. And so we actually need to take more time to really understand what our gifts is about and why we are meant to express this. And the most important thing is knowing your divine gift first, knowing what is that primary or secondary energy quality of our energetic signature, right, that makes us very unique and what we're originally made of from source. So when we can look into that type of energetic quality, everything else in your life and business can line up to that. And how you show up in your life and business will be a much more at ease, and you'll communicate much better to people. In general, your family, your business, everything will just start to flow because you really, really understand your unique blueprint. So that's the first thing you need to know, is obviously knowing your divine gift, what blueprint that is all about, right? Meaning, are you a healer? Are you a teacher? Are you a trainer? Are you, meant to be a speaker type of soul? Are you meant to, share your wisdom? Are you all about helping people with their truth? Bringing out their inner guru? All of these things that you hear on the internet about, all of these intuitives and people who are teaching you this stuff, actually, their vocabulary is so mixed that we cannot really understand our own gifts whenever we're listening to other people that don't understand their own gift in itself, right? So this is one of the biggest problems I'm seeing in the spiritual, communities, is that we talk about, oh, I'm a healer, I'm a teacher, oh, I am, I'm a spiritual teacher, or, I speak, I'm a speaker, I'm a writer, I'm like all of these kind of characters of what we think that we are. But actually, when we talk about ourselves with all of these different titles, it doesn't allow someone to really understand how can you help them. So I'm just saying that out loud so everybody knows that this is the biggest problem, is we are speaking languages that don't really resonate to the people that we actually want to attract. So for example, for me as a healer soul, I need to talk about healing and relationships and connections, and about people's divine soul blueprints, restoring their blueprints, to talk about Dreamtime healing work, and just like very specific things that my soul is meant to express. Because I know my blueprints, I can easily just talk about that topic. And the more I talk about it to my audience, the more I understand how to experiment that in my life and my business, and I get more and more and more in alignment. But the truth is, most of the time, we are actually doing all of the other gifts that we think we are. So you're learning from many people who are really actually misaligned in the first place, because they think they're a spiritual teacher, but actually maybe their gift is they're actually a really good trainer. Or maybe they're saying that they are a healer, but actually they really suck at that, and they're actually really good at strategy. So, and most of the time we're just trying it out and we're just expressing it, and that's totally fine, but this is why it gets so confusing. And the only way that I found that will make it much easier for you and for everybody else, honestly, if everybody knew what your manifesting blueprint archetypes are. So, for example, what it is, right? Basically what it is everyone has a unique blueprint of how they manifest. And out of those like 7 comparatives of, are you more process? Are you more outcome? Are you more similar? Are you more contrast? Like all of these type of spectrums that we are either, more of that or not, we can actually start to make things that we want to create and we desire to start to manifest. But the problem is we don't understand the language of how to speak that specific part of our own spectrum, like that very specific part of what our archetype is really all about, right? So anyway, what is archetypes, right? Archetypes basically is like, it's basically like a specific kind of like blueprint or content of like, I don't know if you guys know anything about, what's his name, James Campbell, or James, I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he talked a lot about like the role as like, everybody all knows what an archetype is like. What is a hero? What is a speaker? What is a teacher? What is a wizard? What is, like these kind of archetypes. They're kind of basically an energetic stamp of a particular type of archetype that people all know. So I found that there are actually these very, very unique stamps or imprints of what each part of your divine gifts are. according to your own manifesting blueprint also. So what I did was actually I kind of combined what I knew about the manifesting blueprint and what I knew about what people's business marketing archetypes are. And I kind of combined it together, and I found that there is a very particular type of, how to say, like soul words, or a particular type of phrases and things that you need to line up to that will allow you to really develop your own inner psychic abilities. When I say about your psychic abilities, I mean that every part of our energetic quality, right, and every part of our energetic signature, there is a very specific energy that we're most abundant in. So when you speak that language to your audience and your people, most of the time, you will actually start to attract those people who really need that very specific thing that you're talking about. So like, for example, I always talk about love and connection, relationships and healing. Those are the themes that I mainly talk about, and about your blueprints, right? If I start talking about, I don't know, like teaching something else that maybe is a different topic about this, you're going to feel that misalignment, and then you're going to be like, I don't know what is she talking about, because it doesn't feel in resonance. And then I don't know how to, then you will feel like, I don't know how to connect with her. I don't know what she's talking about energetically, and it's not coming straight forward to the people that need to hear this, right? So this is just like a small example of this. And this is what everybody is doing in their messaging every day by getting on live streams and stuff like that. We think that we're speaking the right language, but the resonance of the language behind it is not resonating from what our soul's energy types are really all about, okay? So that's what I mean about your manifesting blueprint archetypes, okay? It's a bit complicated, but I just wanted to share with you the basis of what that really is about, okay? So then, what are the 3 benefits of like why you need to know this part? And what I found is the main most important thing as to why you need to know this is because you will then start to get your messaging right. Meaning you will start to be able to talk straight to your ideal clients, your ideal people that are meant to hear your messaging. And you will start to use your own unique soul words. Like, you're going to feel it. Like, if I start using the words balance, for example, which is totally another gift. And even though that word really just, like everybody needs balance, of course, right? If I start talking about that topic, it's going to really not make sense to my audience, because most of my words that I talk about is about love and connection, right? For example, right? So that's the main reason, is you'll be able to get the way your unique expression, like your soul's voice, will start to come out, and you'll really resonate to the right people. Number 2 is then you will start to actually know exactly what your dream biz model shall look like. And, it will make sense to you, and you will find it easier to create your own content from like exactly for what your tribe needs. So the dream business model, like for example, my healer business model is a very, very specific way of how I express myself. So like, for example, people need to be my presence. People need to experience my love. People need to see me on video. People need to have that love and connection with me constantly. Usually in person is the best, right? So that means that as soon as I can do more live events or do more speaking engagements like this, or these kind of expressions where it's aligned to me, then the content will come much more easily for me to speak, right? So I want you to think about that. What is that unique way that you speak to your tribe? Because usually if you try to do something like, for example, you suck at being on webinars, if you start doing that on webinars, your content won't be exciting. It will be kind of dull. You don't feel really inspired to talk about it because it's not the right platform. So even simple things like that, you will notice that your dream business model doesn't really line up completely, and you're going to feel the misalignment, and then you're going to feel it's very, very hard to talk to your tribe. So, but with your manifesting blueprint archetypes, you will really know exactly what your dream business model looks like. You'll have a sense of how to line up to it, and everything that you think about in your life and business will become much more easier for you to bring out your content, because you're not trying very hard, like you're not hustling to do it in the method that you're being told that you're supposed to do. You would rather do it in the method that really, really feels in alignment for you. Okay, so that's the second benefit. The third benefit is you will start to see that a lot of your psychic gifts will start to explode. Meaning, like your own unique way that you express your 4 clairs, which is clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and there's actually another clair, but I can't remember what the name is. But the 4 major clairs of your development of your psychic gifts will become much more keen, and you'll be able to actually like use it. Even if you're not formally like a psychic or intuitive or stuff like that, you actually don't need to formally be it unless it's really part of your leadership role. Then you should step into that. But our psychic gifts, we use it all the time, but we just don't have the full awareness of how it works and how to utilize it every time when we interact with people, right? So imagine if you had that ability to really tune into your psychic gift, like how much more faster and more keen your knowledge and your content will come through, and you will see that your gifts, your psychic gifts, just start to explode. So, for example, let's say you are like a speaker, teacher type of soul. Okay, maybe this is your manifesting blueprint archetype. So if you're more of that kind of teacher type, you to do like private one-on-one coaching, just because you have just so much content to share that it would be very, very difficult for you to share all of that content plus have a lot of private care. So once you get on calls with people, when you're speaking, when you're writing, when you're talking about what you love, right? When you're bringing out that original content, you will find that you're bringing out people's, like, you're channeling their specific words, the specific phrases that really resonate to people, whoever you're talking to. So like, let's say they're asking you a very specific question, but then you find that when you're talking to them, they're saying something that really is in alignment and you feel like it's not their truth. And then as soon as you start channeling, you're going to go into your feeling like, oh, I got this image that this person is not in alignment with this other person, so that's why they're miscommunicating, and this is why it's not making sense. But the person may not have told you that beforehand. But you saw an image of people fighting, for example, right? Then that's using your clairvoyance, right? Then let's say while in that conversation, you start feeling your body starts to get all tingly inside. As soon as they start to talk about a very specific word or phrase that really felt like it resonated with them, then you feel all this like tingles, right? See, so then that's clairsentience talking to you. So normally when we think about our psychic gifts, we think like, oh, it's got to be like, oh, I got to see it. I got to like envision it in a certain way. It's got to, like your spiritual gifts are supposed to look in a particular way. And I can tell you that our gifts doesn't necessarily come in the same package. It comes through light, sound, and vibration. So if your awareness of your psychic gifts are actually at its highest potential is when you start to really, really just do that specific gift that you're abundant in, right? So if you're that spiritual teacher type of soul, you're really meant to channel that information, whatever's coming through at the moment. And it's when you're writing, you're speaking, you're teaching something, and you're bringing out your original content. But if you're not doing that daily, then you're going to feel the misalignment and you're not utilizing your higher intuitive gifts. So what I found is your manifesting blueprint archetypes, there is a very specific language that you're going to speak and you're going to share that's going to allow you to awaken your highest intuitive gifts. Does it make sense? So like for me as a healer soul, Not a lot of people are healer souls, just so you know. Healer souls, they're not really meant to share a lot of content, but they're really meant to share their presence of beingness. So this is why it's a little bit hard for me to always be so-called like the teacher type, but because of my presence, you get an awakening just being in my presence. Like you seeing me on live streams like this automatically awakens you to your gifts. See, so that's my biggest benefit. It's just my presence. So presence, you don't necessarily need to talk, right? Beingness doesn't have words. It really doesn't have words. But if you are like a speaker type of soul, or you are a power type of soul, your words have a lot of resonance. So you have to speak a lot, right? But because I also have a bit of that power soul energy also as part of my blueprint, this is why I can speak on video and, you know, share my knowledge in this kind of way. But my main primary gift, again, is about divine love. Do you see how different that is? So I'm speaking a very particular language that resonates to you, that allows you to get in touch with your own Akashic records, that allows you to start to awaken your own gifts, that allows you to understand a much more deeper level of your spirituality just by being in my presence. Do you see how that works? So when you really stand in your leadership role and what your divine gift is about in this way, you're going to see a difference. You're going to see that it's much easier for your 4 major clairs to just come out automatically. Mm-hmm. And but the thing is that you're not aware of them yet, because you don't know the soul alignment piece. So when you know that soul alignment piece, the business alignment piece, the success mindset with it, you know, and then bringing all of that messaging in that language to make sense for your people, it will start to resonate with everyone, and naturally you will start to attract those particular people that need your gift. The more you speak about yourself in your soul alignment, the more likely you'll get more ideal people for you. But again, if you're speaking a different kind of language of your messaging, you're going to find that you're getting more of these other people that you don't really know. I don't want to say you don't really know how to work with them. It's more like you don't understand how to fully help them develop their gifts, because it's not in alignment fully with your gift, right? So he says, this is super, super cool stuff yet again. I know you have told me I am a power soul and it feels right, but I think there are other influences as you just spoke about. Yes, definitely the other influences are the background karmic stuff for you, but also, like I said, taking what you are, which if you are a power soul, what are that particular archetype and the way that you manifest will allow you to start to bring in the right messaging that will bring the right target audience, that's going to bring the right people in your life and your business together. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's so crucial to know that this kind of soul alignment, you know, manifesting blueprint archetypes, because you'll see that there's a difference when you start to speak in the wrong language and when you do speak your language. You'll see that, like, for example, a lot of people that I work with, they tend to talk about balance or their divine order stuff or strategy or techie stuff, and because they're a business coach. But then in reality, they're more about, you know, power soul, which is they're more about speaking and bringing out their content, but they bring out their content more in an empowering type of way. Those two are very specific gifts. That's a very different language for the right kind of person to want to work with, either a power soul or another one that's more about order, right? Or more about creation. Do you see what I'm saying? Janae says, how do you find out your soul alignment? So the soul alignment piece I'm talking about is your blueprints, your divine soul blueprints. Just so you know, you won't find many people who talk about this subject, because usually when you see a psychic or you see an intuitive, they're just reading your energy body, your mental body, your spiritual body, just the information about you right now and about what your future you're going to create. But the only way you can know what your soul alignment piece is, you have to look at it in your Akashic records. Like when I listen and talk to people all the time, and I can pretty much have a glimpse, like whether, that is in soul alignment or not, by how they speak to me or how they write to me. I can see very clearly in their words, like it's in alignment or not. But the only way for it to be confirmed is I got to go look in your Akashic records, which all of your divine soul blueprints, your manifesting blueprint, your business marketing archetype, all of the specific information that I'm talking about right now, it's in your Akashic records, and I have to pull it out, which takes me about 2 to 3 hours to go look it all up, look up very specific questions, and it takes discipline in your Akashic records for you to actually have the right information. And most people are not disciplined in the Akashic records. They kind of just like, oh, I'm just going to go into the Akashic records in the library of the space, and then they expect the information to come. But the Akashic records is not. It's like Googling. You have to look for something very specific. You have to be very disciplined about it. So when we pull these pieces of what your divine soul blueprints are, then what you do is you take that information and you start to apply that in your life and business. So then you start to bring all those missing pieces that you felt that it was like a part of you, like what your gift is about, but then you couldn't understand those missing pieces that was in your blueprint. Then now when you see the blueprint, you're like, oh my God, like this is who I was all this time. But I was missing this part, and I was missing this part, and I was missing this part. So remember, as a healer soul, I can actually see all the missing pieces of what your soul is. So then when you start to bring in that soul alignment piece, it's just going to make really a lot of sense in how you show up in your life and business. So let's see. Oh, you didn't miss it, Janae. I think I just talked about what the manifesting, what is it? The manifesting blueprint archetype. But what I'm talking about right now is the soul alignment piece, which is all of your divine soul blueprints. Within your divine soul blueprints is your manifesting blueprints and your business marketing archetypes. And I just basically created the manifesting blueprint archetype, which incorporates your manifesting blueprint and also what your divine gifts is, and your dream business, which is your business marketing archetype. So anyway, that's what I was talking about in the beginning, and then I was explaining the benefits of why you want to know this information. Hi, Deborah. Jenny says, oh, I see. Oh yeah, sorry, the video stopped. Sometimes it just stops and it just freezes for the connection for some reason, so sorry about that. Yes, as a power soul, I do love to speak, but my messaging, I think, can get confused at times. Or actually, I can't just stick to one thing. I feel there's more I need to share and speak broader. I feel this is more I need... Oh, wait. I feel it strongly, like you said, you are from divine... Your love, divine gift, and a healer soul with some power soul in you, so you can speak. Yeah, so those specific things, what I said, this is why it's confusing. So just so you know what messaging is, usually we don't get into our messaging into the point where we're like, why the hell am I not attracting the right people to me? And that has to do with how you're targeting, right? So if you have like a dartboard, and you throw the darts, if you know what your target audience is, then you get more of the people that are in that target, right? But if you don't know the target and you just throw the dart, it's just going to be all over the board. You just get like, people are totally off the board, right? Or people are kind of like close to your target market, but it still doesn't feel right. And then what happens actually when your messaging is all wrong, you get tired, you feel depleted, and even though your clients, have amazing results because you're able to like bring them their success, you won't feel that soul alignment piece of why you're doing your purposeful work, because it's not showing up in the experience you want to create. So especially if you're like a process type of soul, if you're not enjoying the process, it's just going to suck. Like seriously. And it's sometimes something very simple, like for example, when I first started doing, like telling everybody their divine soul blueprints, I did everything live. I did it with them on the call for 2 to 3 hours, and I just shared everything about their blueprints, and I channeled all the information. And what I found was like I was feeling so tired and depleted. They were feeling amazing because they're like, wow, I got her presents, and I got like so much benefit of knowing exactly all of my 3-hour divine soul blueprints. That's so cool. Like no one's ever done that for me. And in the end, I realized it was because I didn't like the full on process, because a big part of it is that I need to channel that information, and channeling that information does not necessarily mean that the person needs to be live. So all I did was for that 2 to 3 hour, recording, I mean the time when I did it live, I instead made a recording so that I could be completely present in the words and the phrases and things that were coming through my mouth. But I couldn't really enjoy it because the other person was like, ooh, cool, that's nice, and I like that. Oh, wow, I didn't know it was like this. And like, sometimes it just like pulls you out of your genius. And so anyway, when I started to just record the person's blueprints, it was just so different. The messaging that came through in the way I made the full-on, their divine soul blueprints was so crystal clear. So what I'm saying is sometimes it's your frequency of the way you're doing things with your clients. It can be the method, right? Like, so the method definitely was, I just need to record it by myself. Or it can be, I'm giving you guys a lot of good nuggets just so you know about your biz strategy here. It could be you don't feel that deep connection to your audience because there's no emotion coming through you, because it's not inspired, it's not in alignment, right? So if your messaging is not right, that means alignment is the problem. Does it make sense? You're not aligning to your unique way that your soul expresses it. As soon as you start to soul express in that very specific way, you will see that you show up differently. Your content comes very easy. You don't have a procrastination about it, and those kind of stuff. It just starts to happen naturally. Jenny says, oh, I have no idea what my blueprint could be. What are the different categories? Oh gosh, like there are a lot. So I wouldn't be able to tell you all of it on on a live stream. It's like not possible. But basically those kind of like categories, or that archetypes that I was talking about, have very specific qualities of the way that you want to express yourself in your business. Hi, Christy. So I kind of gave you some examples in terms of your divine gifts. I gave you the power soul, the speaker type of soul, the spiritual type of teacher soul, the healer type of soul. Those are kind of the basic divine gift stuff. There's more. And then there's your kind of like your soul group, which is, your star system, where you came from before, which also affects how you show up. It's kind of like a culture of you that you are, but you just didn't know that you were before, because you came from a different star and you came to Earth, and you're like, everybody operates very differently than the way you're used to. Those kind of like that's what I mean about your divine gifts, and part of your blueprints has that kind of information. Let's see. And then there's also the unique way that you manifest, which is your manifesting blueprint. Then there's your manifesting blueprint archetype, which is what I said before, which is seeing what your dream business is and seeing how exactly you're manifesting in your life and business, and putting that all together, which gives you your unique way that you express your gifts and how you develop your psychic intuitive gifts through that integration process. So now I'm starting to announce this and start talking about what I'm talking about is called soul aligned manifestation. So it's soul alignment and manifestation together, and this is the most advanced method of how to bring like your life and business together to make sense in the material physical world. Janae says, oh, I see. Thank you for answering. Yeah, you're welcome. So this is why I decided that I need to create a school about it, and I'm going to call it SAS M3, which is Soul Alignment Spiritual School. And M3 stands for manifestation, mindset, and mastery. So basically it's going to be about those kind of topics, but the whole goal is to help you to understand how the heck to use your blueprints, and develop that sense of awareness so that you can create everything in soul alignment rather than, oh, I think I like this type of business model, I'm going to try that. It doesn't work for everybody because you really need to know your soul alignment piece first. So I'm going to launch that probably in the next month. That's my hope. There's a lot of pieces that I need to do before then, but basically it's going to be a school to help you to understand your soul alignment piece, and which will include these kind of stuff that I'm talking about within it, and coaching calls and stuff like that. And then that's kind of just basically like my membership site. So it's all online. And then the other piece that I'm going to talk about is my next webinar, which is more about this topic that I'm talking about now, the Soul Aligned Manifestation webinar. So that's going to probably come up around September 15th or around that time. And then at the end of October, I plan on making some in-person Maui spiritual retreats so that you can actually meet me in person. And when you meet me in person, I show you exactly by example how to live in soul alignment, with using your personal blueprints. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be happening. I'm still trying to figure out all the logistics. So if it's taking longer, I'm sorry. But basically, I'm going to create this for you guys because I found that there's a need for this, specifically about manifestation. Everybody's very interested in being the creator of their own experience now, and they're starting to take responsibility for their life and their business, and starting to see the different 10 life areas that they need to up level, and they're seeing like all kinds of stuff that has been misaligning them for so long. And the best method or the best way to bring all of those pieces together in a very fast, concise, and in record time way is when you get into soul alignment. And I think it's going to change humanity once I really get my content out there. It's going to change the way that we show up in our business, in our life, and it's going to make everything so much easier and in flow. I see a lot of people talking about the Akashic records too, like they're all selling courses even though they don't even understand about it at all and they've never experimented on it. So you're going to see a lot of these kind of new spiritual tools and stuff like that, and it's so important for you to stay grounded and really just develop your intuitive gifts first, understand your blueprints, and then when you start to understand your blueprints and you show up very differently, and then you're going to naturally make your life and business like more in flow and then feel more easy rather than hustle. And definitely I'm seeing too much hustle going on, too much all strategy, too much information out there. So it's so key right now to get into yourself, to listen to that inner voice and figure out your own unique way that you're going to do this. Okay? And I found the best way, just so you know, the best way to understand your gifts is talking to people. Like, this is the reason why I do my live stream show, is because when I just share about my content like this, I get more awakenings, and then I understand much more deeper of what content needs to come through. So if you're feeling that need to bring out your content, bring out your new messaging, attract the right kind of ideal people to you, do what it takes to start talking about it. Either talking about it or writing about it. Find that medium that really works for you, and you will see a big difference in how, just in general, how you feel and how you're going to, make a bigger impact on people, because all it takes is just self-expression, divine self-expression. The more you self-express, the more you will develop your intuitive gifts. Okay? And I'll tell you, no other psychic or intuitive out there is going to teach you exactly your psychic gift. The only way you're going to know your psychic gift is if you research and you practice on it on other people. Just so you know, that's a secret. When I reached about 1,000 people that I did readings on, this is paid readings now. I did this in about like a year and a half at some point when I was a psychic monk. When I reached that tipping point of that 1,000 person, that was when my psychic gifts totally exploded. So this is how much you need to express yourself, and you need to actually do it on people, because the more you actually do it, the more you'll feel confident, and the more you would start to develop those kind of latent abilities. Okay, information doesn't solve the issue for you. It's about experience, and it's about bringing all of your blueprints to make more sense, right? Then once you've got those pieces, there you go. Then you will start to be in your gift rather than talking about your gift. Do you see the difference? So do you guys have any other questions? I just really want to stress that, because I'm seeing this shift, and everybody's all like, I need to know my manifestation stuff. Oh, I need to like set up this strategy in my funnels and like do passive income, and yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's not about that right now. It's about really getting deep into yourself and bringing out your originality, bringing out your unique blueprints into this world. And it starts by you deciding you're going to do that for yourself. That's how you step into your leadership role, is you just be it. Like, there's nobody is going to tell you like exactly how to be a leader, or exactly how to be a good teacher, or exactly how you're going to be a good trainer. All of this information is out there, cool, but that information overwhelm does not serve you. You really need to get into your beingness and get into your gift, and then you're going to really attract those right people. Janae says, I've been attracting all the wrong people, so I need to start over, huh? You need to find new people. Yes. The reason you're attracting the wrong people, this is a secret, Janae, okay? It's because you're not standing in your gift. When you start to stand in your real gifts, you will see that the right people start to come to you. You don't even know where to start. Yeah. Yeah, the reason people don't know where to start is because they don't have the soul alignment piece. And I don't think like anybody understands this level that I'm talking about, because it's not offered out there. But if you have somebody that really understands that particular gift you're really meant to serve and express, you will start to attract the right people. Because it's about, okay, number one, it's about your divine gifts. Are you aligned to that? Number two, is the words and the things that you're sharing with your audience or people, is that the messaging right for them or not? And usually it's messaging and the soul alignment piece that's missing for you. That includes in for your life too, in your regular life, in your relationships in your life too. I found that if you really align with your gift, like you will start to get better friends, people who are more supportive of you, people who really gets you. Like, all of those pieces all come together because you're in alignment with your gift. And when you're in alignment with your gift, those unique people that's meant to help you on that journey will start to show up. Yeah, so that's the secret. That's my secret, actually. That's how I know. That's how I'm able to build a business so fast. And it feels like I'm always in this transition. Honestly, it feels terrible because there's so many things I'm learning, so many things I need to switch into. Having success about something, and then it doesn't feel in alignment, and just doing it over and over and over again. It feels like I'm always doing over myself. And it's not easy, but as long as I know what is my real gift, my divine gifts, it feels more easy. It feels more in flow and ease, because I have a very specific way that I'm creating my reality. So this is how you can create your reality, is when you really understand your blueprints and your soul alignment piece. yeah, so anyway, if you really want to know your divine gifts, you can get on my website at www.beingalohi.com. And on there, on the page, you just opt in, and there you can take my quiz, my Divine Business Gifts quiz. And that's going to give you a very kind of a glimpse of where you find your peace, how you express yourself, how your unique way you express yourself in this world, and what your gifts is all about, and what your divine business should kind of look like, just by taking the quiz. I'm going to make a manifesting blueprint quiz, so you can kind of get a glimpse of what your manifesting blueprint might look like. That's another thing I'm developing. And then if you really need help and support, and you need a community that's all about soul alignment, come join my Fame and Fortune Soul Alignment Leader Entrepreneur Facebook group. And in there, I share a lot of this live streams, and we try to interact with each other. But essentially, it's going to really become a hub where I can start bringing in more of those missing pieces to teach people more about soul alignment. But I haven't been able to do that because I've been in so much transitions to get my messaging all right and all this kind of stuff. So that's why it's taking me some time. So again, it's on my website, beingalohi.com. If someone can type in there at the bottom, please do that. It's basically, being Alohi means to sparkle, to be bright. And actually, it's to be your brilliance in Hawaiian. So that's really what my business is about, is being Alohi. Jenny says, yeah, me too. Always doing over, spinning my wheels. Yeah, where's, okay, Jenny says, thanks. Okay, cool. All right, well, anyway, I wanted to share that cool new information that just came through just from channeling it today. And you'll see more of it as soon as I get everything in order with getting all of these things out there. So, all right, and then like I said, look for my quiz and look for any of the other things. I'm guest speaking in a lot of other people's platforms. If anybody know who Zach Spuckler is, he has a Heart and Soul Hustle, I think, podcast. And I'm going to be speaking on there September 6th. And so if you're not in my email list, make sure you're on there, so you're going to get all of these prompts of when I get on these podcasts and I guest speak about all of these kind of particular subjects that I'm talking about right now. I'm going to be bringing it more to bigger audiences and sharing more about what soul alignment is about. All right, well, you guys have an amazing day. All my love to you. Aloha.